welcome back. This is Denise, and today, I've done several of these lovely paintings like this lately. This one I'm obsessed with, and then we did it as like a stripe and as an oval, and they've come out so amazing that I want to go back and do something kind of like this in a different colorway. This is the perfect fun exercise to do with the color palette challenges. So I'm going to do a color palette challenge today in color card 485, and this is from Color Cube Volume 2 by Sarah Renee Clark. And I love using the color cards because they get me past the color anxiety that I tend to have when picking stuff. And I'm playing in my Masha's colors because I love them. And I've picked out for this one Shadow Blue, which is over here, and Blue Iron, which I haven't used that much, I don't think, which is that one, and Sand, and Peach, and Weathered Rose, and Granite. So there's my color palette coming straight off of this, and it doesn't mean that I won't veer off of that, but it helps me get a direction, and it stops me from just freezing up right there at the very beginning, trying to even get started. So that's where we're going today. Got my 1/2 inch oval wash brush, which I love, because it's wonky, and I'm looking for wonky today. So let's see what we can do. We're looking for wonky. What color? I think I want the Blue Iron here in the middle. I'm gonna go ahead, and even though these are super saturated, for this type project, I'm going to go ahead and get those a tiny bit wet, and then I'm gonna put a blue here in the center, I think, and then we're going to go out from there. And this is the Granite, so, and the goal here is super wonky, so I'm just going to try to leave some white space and at the same time not get perfect circles. I like how crazy this one ended up with how we did that. I'm just gonna try to do something similar. Every time I come back and try to paint something that I've already done, I never end up getting exactly what I was going for, but we're gonna try. And it's a good way to see, do we like any of these colors? Are there any that we would leave out? I just overwhelmed it with that dark one, didn't I? And it's a good way to see color palettes that maybe you wouldn't pick normally to do stuff with. And this is the way I have found color palettes that I didn't think I would really love, and I ended up loving them. Actually, that dark one is Shadow Blue Dark, so and that's the Granite right there. Shadow Blue Dark is pretty dark. Oh, I haven't pulled in this blue really enough, have I? That blue I started with, so I think what I will do is come back and lay some of this blue in here, because I like this kind of dusty blue color. Alright, so might let this dry a tiny bit and then put some on top of that, because I like the way that original one, you could tell I layered back on it after some stuff had started drying. I'd get my heat gun out, but I don't want it to dry too fast. I just want to give myself some areas where it could do some fun stuff. And I'm kind of like doing a circle at the same time, squinching the brush down to give me like a fatter area of color. So that's kind of fun too with this little wonky brush. This, I don't know what this is doing like right in here, but it is gorgeous. Like, look at that colors right there. These right here, they are so gorgeous right there. So this kind of reminds me of like a storm a little bit. And I don't know that this is colors that I would have put together ever. And at the same time, it's kind of cool. I think I'm gonna let this dry. Well, I kind of actually, now that I said that, want to do something a little more here in the center maybe. And then I'm gonna let it dry and then we'll come back and mark make. So I'll be right back. All right, we're dry. And now I'm kind of loving the blue part of this where we're not completely dry. We're dry enough for me to think it was dry, but it's still a tiny bit paper damp. Let me dry the paper. I knew it was still paper damp because it was still buckled, because you know with this, I'm using the Hahnemühle 100% cotton 9x12 paper that I just cut 3 inches off the end, and I just save these for other projects and scraps and stuff that I need to do samples and things on. 100% cotton, it buckles, but then as it dries it flattens back out, and so it was still buckled pretty good, and it's hard to draw on damp paper, so getting that dry is the way to go. And I'm going to use my Blackwing Matte pencil and do some marks in the grooves because I want them to be graphite marks, which is just my own preference. You can do it with a color, you can do it with a marker, you can leave them white, you can do marks with some Neocolor II crayons, you can do them with colored pencil. I just love graphite in my artwork. And I love the 14B Pit Matte Graphite. And I love the Blackwing Matte pencil. That's my 2 favorite pencils because they're very bold. And they put down a lot of strong, bold lines very easily. And that'll kind of get us in our color palette. It'll get us down here to this darker color too, so we're still in our color palette. And there's a whole lot of areas in here that are kind of beautiful. These areas right in here, really pretty. That area right there that we originally looked at, really pretty. I love the blue. Did not expect this little hurricane that's going on in the middle of our storm. Kind of reminds me of a storm, doesn't it? Yeah, so there's some fun elements that we ended up with that I did not expect. And then these colors granulate and separate into other tones, which is super cool. And this is definitely not a color palette I normally would have thought to pick out the colors if I didn't have the color cube kind of guiding me. And you know, you can use a color wheel and pick a few colors like complementary or analogous and things like that, but I find that picking color palettes from any color palette source, you can get these off Pinterest if you want, just search color palettes. I find that it helps me then get a richer palette by having other colors go in the palette that I wouldn't have picked or expected, which I love. So rather than just stopping at 2 colors, we can, you know, flesh that out with other things that we already know are going to look good. And I love that. I like exploring color, and so for me that works. I like too many things and I find it hard to narrow them down. Ooh, look at this. I already love it. I already love it. I want to pull out some of this blue, so I think what I'm going to do is maybe go to the Neocolor II crayons. Is that the blue I want? I don't think it is. I've just got, ooh, look at that one. Look at that. This is turquoise blue. I feel like turquoise blue for the win. And I'm going to put in, I could go in and just add some, yes, a little bit of wonky. Just add to the concentric circle fill of this. I just want to, ooh, good choice. Look at that. Just pulled that right in right there. Okay, I like that. Okay, I'm feeling good. Feeling good. good. Okay, I think that's good too. I don't have to do too much. I almost wonder if we do some, that ain't the right color, is it? Totally just went all country on you there. I said ain't. What the heck? Alright, let's see. I've got some little Arctic markers here. Ooh, I just dumped something all over the floor. And I'm just going to see in these colors, do we have one? That one's more teal. Just see, do we have one that I could do like a few? Oh, let's do that one. Is it close enough? This is why I keep little samples around and I can kind of see. Yeah, I think that's close enough. I just want to do like some sweet little dots somewhere in a blue. Like maybe, oh yeah, see, I love it when you can do something that you normally do, like little dots, but maybe you pick a different color, not just white or black, and see like what can you get out of that, doing it in a way that isn't your normal thing. And sweet little colored dots I like. Oh, I love it. Okay, that was a good one. Okay, kind of feeling like I'm gonna whip out the silver on you this time instead of gold. You didn't expect that, did you? But I feel like we've got enough in here. This is my Kuretake gold, Kuretake silver paste, which comes in the same kind of container as that gold, and I just use a pipette to put it in this fine line bottle, and I use it in the same way that I use the gold, in that I do it kind of on the side and get it started and kind of go from there. And so I'm kind of feeling like some silver circles, and then maybe, why do we get like a real heavy one sometimes? That kind of drives me insane. So let's do it a couple times, and that way we know that that wasn't like a boo-boo. Because I don't know how hard it is that we try. We're still going to have one area that's like, what the heck is that? Okay, and then we're going to do some silver dots, because that's what I'm feeling, because this silver shines really pretty. Okay, that's looking really pretty. Feeling that right there. We're going to have to let that dry. So I'm going to take my heat gun and dry that silver before I squish my hand across it accidentally, which I would totally do. Kind of feel like it needs one more thing. So I'm kind of wondering, does it need like some teardrops? Do we like this burgundy? Ooh, I kind of maybe that was, you know, it's kind of dark too, but like, could we use a few teardrops in here in this burgundy? Oh my gosh. Okay, oh no, I want to, and at the same time, I'm like, is this gonna be the thing that messes me up? Is it too dark? Okay, I'm kind of scared. Oh, okay, we did it. Okay, look at there. Huh. All right. Did not pop out and do something funky that I'm like, whoa, what did that do? It actually kind of sinks back in a little bit, which is good. Okay, oh, that was a moment. I get scared less and less the more we experiment and really just go all crazy with the things that we do here. But then there's a moment where I'm like, is this gonna be the one that should have been the I know you feel me. You're right there with me. Okay, I'm kind of loving that tiny bit of darkness. All right, that was okay. I'm feeling it. Let's put it up here. I like these brush tip ones. These are the Arctic's markers, number 52, C52. I like this little brush tip because I can get a dot if I go on the end, but I can get like a teardrop if I go on the edge, which I like. I like that different shape. Okay, good choice. Oh, That was a good choice. Kind of feeling like, do we need anything else? Are we there? It's looking pretty cool. I love that we did the silver. See how that silver shines? And I didn't like that silver for a long time. It wasn't, I don't know, I felt like it wasn't shiny enough. I thought it was more translucent. But now in that fine line bottle, it speaks to you. It like jumps out. I feel like we could be there. And then we could do some deckled edges, because you know, these look good with the deckled edge. Let's peel it and see where we're at. We could always add to it. But I feel like I'm there for today. I feel like I had a good paint day. And I love this color palette way more than I even expected. Like, look at that. That looks way better than I even was thinking. So that's a fun color palette. I don't know if it's one that I would pick out to do a whole series in for myself, but I actually really like the way this one turned out. And I feel like it's like a thunderstorm, and we had some lovely bits in the storm. Look how cool that is. Okay, let's do the deckled edge. It's my dual edge ripper. I do have this on my favorites list. If you go on my website, I linked that page below for you. And this is my favorite edge ripper. And I've had it for several years. I've got several edge rippers. The metal ones I have are like weapons. And I don't like them. I cut myself on those. And I just eyeball it. I'm looking for about the same amount on the edge, and I need enough to grab. So hopefully I'll leave enough space for at least 1/2 inch to grab. And I've got it up on my artist, this is an artist panel, which I link those artist panels on my favorites page too, because I like to tape stuff down on them, and then if I need to move around, I can move around with my board instead of taping it to the table. But it's good for giving you enough lift to be able to grab that paper with your fingers. And sometimes, oh, look at that. The deckled edge is all it needs is to finish it off. Look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that. Okay. Then we can decide which way it goes, but I feel like this is the way it goes. Got some pretty shine there. Look at how those colors all kind of blended and separated and did their fun tricks there. All right, that is super fun. Hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today, and I'll see you guys next time.